Alright, here we go. We're taking a look at Landfall today in Historic. And this is a deck that I decided to play because of a new card from, quote-unquote new that is, from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and that's Bristly Bill Spine Sower. For 2 mana, we get a 2/2 with a landfall ability stapled onto him that basically puts a 1/1 counter on target creature. That's anything that you control, including Bristly Bill himself, and things that your opponents control, so it can target anything. And then you can double the number of 1/1 counters on each creature you control. So if you put a counter on your opponent's stuff, the doubling obviously will not help them. No reason why you'd want to do those sequences of events, but you know that is how it works. You know. But basically, we want to get to abuse Bristly Bill's ability as much as possible. We want to put a bunch of lands into play and put a bunch of counters onto creatures and double these counters into oblivion, eventually killing our opponent. We should be able to get a wide board and make them all pretty big with Bristly Bill, but if that's not enough and our opponent has just enough blockers, we have Ulvenwald Oddity, a creature that comes in for 4, transforms for 7, and can give all your creatures 1/1 trample and haste. So that's more or less how we would win a game, kind of just generally, but we need to do a number of things to get there. Number one is basically getting a bunch of lands into play, and there's a lot of ways that we can do this. I was originally running Shia Soul of the Wilds, but she unfortunately has a non-bow with the 4 Mythweaver Pox we're playing in this deck. How that works is because Shia makes everything a land, the Mythweaver Pock itself is a land, and thus will trigger itself when it enters the battlefield, and you'll make a copy of Mythweaver Pock, which immediately, due to the legend rule, needs to be sacrificed. But you then get a trigger put onto the stack due to the legend rule Mythweaver coming in, and you're back in the situation you started. So what'll happen is this will basically put a trigger onto the stack, legend rule, and due to state-based actions, we'll put another trigger on the stack to sack your creature. And basically this just will happen ad nauseum until either you forfeit or the game ends in a draw. So it's kind of not really fun to play. There's a short on my channel of me experimenting with this deck and running into that, which was kind of funny. But for the most part, that's not something I want to show in the deck tech today, so Ashaya is not in this one. What is in this deck, though, is Ancient Green Warden, a card that allows us to play lands from the graveyard, so things like our Boseijus that we channel can come back in as normal lands. Fabled Passage can come back, Lair of the Hydra, when killed, can come back, things like that. Maybe your Kazandu Mammoths and Balagad Recovery turn Timber Symbiosis, also things that can happen. All those things pretty good. And then the other thing that can happen, actually, sorry, these can't come because these are not considered lands on their face upside. But what else we can do is ramp out with a Souza, who allows us to play 2 additional lands each turn, and Druid Class, which gives us 1 extra land drop for each turn. And also as a static ability that gains us life as all these lands come into the battlefield. And though I mentioned it at the beginning, I didn't talk about how Mythweaver Pock also gives us additional land drops by conjuring copies onto the battlefield. This gets really cool when we do something like Fabled Passage, because when Fabled Passage enters and we get a copy of it, both can be cracked to fetch one of our 11 lands, which as a new ETB ability will get doubled up with Mythweaver Pock. So that's how we're getting a bunch of land drops, how we're getting a bunch of mana in general in order to activate Bristly Bill and Ulvenwald Oddity, and overall this should be a pretty good deck. The one other thing that we can do is play our other landfall card, Tireless Provisioner, who on ETB of a land makes us either a food token or treasure token. We're pretty much always doing the treasure token option, but to stay alive against a red deck, we might want to make some foods here and there. This is mono green in its essence. We're making big creatures going wide and killing our opponents with trample. It's really all you could want as a mono green mage. Well, that kind of brings us to the end of the deck tech. I did not mention the hidden nurseries, which we have 3 of, since a lot of our cards are 4 CMC or less. Boseiju can remove stuff, can be channeled to do so, and then replayed with Ancient Green Warden. All of these things are pretty good, and we want to make them happen today. So let's hop into some games and see if we can't do that. Should be some good games coming up with Landfall. Before we hop into the games, though, make sure to like and comment on the video. Helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you in round 1. Alright, it's round 1. Here we go. We have 4 lands. This Azusa will be able to do something. However, we also have Druid Class, which sort of accomplishes the same thing. I'll give it a try, just seeing what the first hand it does for us. I think a lot of these lands will end up being played as lands themselves. And I think we will, or sorry, the spell lands will be played as lands themselves. We draw another land here, which is kind of great for the situation that we're in. We will drop a tapped one of those, and then look to set up a turn 2 and turn 3 play. And we do have just enough lands to make it work. Flooding out is totally fine in this deck. We do not care. We're going to go Druid class into Azusa into 2 more land drops. And we'll be quite on our way to playing a turn Timber Symbiosis. And I'll have to think about if I want to do a Kazandu Mammoth before that or not. Kazandu Mammoth does hit pretty hard, but I think I'm interested in playing Azusa, putting in a tapped turn Timber Symbiosis, putting in an untapped land, and playing Land Royale. Alright, we've ramped pretty hard here, and this Ulvenwald Oddity can come in next turn. I think I'm probably going to do the Kazandu Mammoth as a land. And this gives us almost the 7 mana to transform Ulvenwald Oddity. They'll exile my Druid class, I take it here. We're definitely not blocking. That thing is large and scary, and actually this Castle Garenbrig is kind of what we need. We'll make mana here with Ulvenwald Oddity, and go with a Kazandu Mammoth as the creature instead. We have a 4/4. That thing should attack. We'll see if they block. Could be a good trade. It seems like they don't have combat tricks. That's good to know about. And I think we probably just flip our Ulvenwald Oddity here this turn. They're forced to exile here, and we don't particularly care. They have exiled an instant and a enchantment. The instant is probably going to be a little scary here. I expect them to have some sort of instant speed interaction, but we will see. Let's go ahead and attack with the creatures that will be able to trade. We can transform at instant speed. Let's see if it happens. They will probably declare a block on the Mammoth. Okay. Looks like they are trying to get a trade here. We're going to activate. See if this is allowed to happen. If they have removal for the Oddity, that does suck. Alright, looks like their werewolf will get bigger. Sure. Alright, Nightpack Ambusher, you got it. We do hit them to 8, which is convenient. They probably don't play anything here and go for Nightpack Ambusher. No, they'll actually make a Garruk. Wolf Tribal, definitely not common to see. Alright, they found removal. That Garruk will be a problem. Mythweaver Pock, probably going to be our next big creature that we put out. Definitely not blocking here. The Cemetery Prowler is a problem. Bristly Bill here is great though. I think we go Bristly Bill here. Set up a Mythweaver Pock. And unfortunately we can't attack Garruk. Next turn we will be able to. If we draw land, this goes super hard. Otherwise we're going to be in a bit of a problem. Because Bristly Bill's activation does not do anything if we don't have any counters on creatures. Bolsamir is going to fight something. Looks like Bristly Bill does. Sounds about right. Here's some more wolves, and yeah, looks like we are going to lose our Mythweaver Pock, and I think that opponent's got a critical mass here. Tolsamir, Cemetery Prowler, Garruk. Who knew it was such a good combination? Alright. We'll take 8 here. Losing our creature here. I think we just still need to pass. We're going to go to 5 here, and I think our next draw will be our last. Escape Shift unfortunately doesn't work for us here. We have nothing that can work. Let's sack all our lands though and go find out some fun ones. Not really a Field of the Dead deck, but you know, we can make a bunch of land drops like this. Opponent is going to get us down to dead here though, and it looks like we will lose round 2 as well before being able to execute our combo. We did get to have the Ulvenwald Oddity on the battlefield, and we did get to have a large Mithluver Pock. Just kind of didn't have the other items that we needed in order to win. Pretty cool to see the Tolsimir, the two Tolsimirs, the Garriks come together, do all these things. Cemetery Prowler, big, very big here. Does a lot of discounting for these spells. We're not blocking here. We are taking lethal, and we are going to round 3. Alright, here we go. This is round 2. Bristly Bill's in the hand. Scape Shift is around. And Ancient Green Warden could start to replay some of those lands from the graveyard. I think I'm in. Start with the Hidden Nursery, go for Bristly Bill, make him a little bigger, and then hopefully... Oh, Tireless Provisioner is perfect. Let's go. So we're looking to play a turn 2 into turn 3 here. Opponent is on blue-white control, possibly. Maybe Soldiers. Looking like blue-white control, probably. No, never mind. Some blue-white Flyers. Here we go. They're going to make the Storm Tracer Drake a target of a spell, it sounds like. Let's go for Bristly Bill. Then next turn we go for Tireless Provisioner. Make ourselves a land on the following turn with Kazandu Mammoth. And we could try to Scape Shift early. I don't think that that's probably the move that I want to do. We're looking to do some Bogles types things, make this a big creature, make it unblockable. We're going to have to return the favor and do some damage here. We have a good Fabled Passage start here. We're going to put a counter on our creature, get Tireless Provisioner out. That does resolve, we'll get in. Now this Fabled Passage should be able to do some work. And the following turn we might end up just Scape Shifting if they tap out and we have a Avenue to Victory. We'll keep that one on the mind. It's a 2-lander for opponent. They have just a clue. Curious Inquiry, sure. Get a bunch of card draw going here. We actually should be able to cast a Green Warden this next turn. And get in a good attack. Then we go for Scape Shift if the doors are open. We hit for 6 here. More than 6, 8. Alright, ooh, another Fabled Passage is pretty nuts. Put a counter on Tireless Provisioner. Make a treasure. And we will go for the land now. Get in our 8 damage. So it is a 2-turn clock. They're going to need to do something here. Put a counter on Bill, make a treasure, and then go in. Fortunately, this is not going to be instant speed. It's going to be Malcolm. Let's see what they discard here. This is going to potentially be gnarly. No, they actually don't have enough chorus counters on it, so this is fine. They'll flash this in. Do they block, though? Seems like not. But they will actually chump block here. That's surprising. Bristly Bill can double my counters here, but that's not really going to be useful. I think we just go Green Warden here, set up for a nuclear turn next turn. Because, yeah, we just go Fabled Passage here. Number 2, bring it all back. That is going to be definitely enough, especially if they tap out here. Hopefully they should just flash in a bunch of creatures. Storm Chaser Drake here looking for nearly a kill. They're kind of getting close there, not going to lie. Alright, and cool, they just have a double striker, so this shouldn't be too much of a problem here. Yeah, I think we should be able to kill. Nice. They're not going to have enough lands here. Let's go for it. We go Fabled Passage, trigger, counter, counter, treasure, treasure, Fabled Passage, find a land. All triggers again. Trigger, trigger. Treasure, treasure. And then we go QQ to float all of our mana. Scape Shift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We look for some Fabled Passages. Look for some other lands. We make our things big. We attack in. Opponent is dead. Alright, so that was the combo executed there. We also would have enough mana to double with Bristly Bill at least a few times. Should have been probably something like 5 with 2 Fabled Passages, represents 7 lands entering. That's times 2 because of Ancient Green Warden, and that would be 14 counters, 14 more mana. We would be able to keep going from there if we had more card draw. So pretty solid. Got the combo off. Let's hop it around 4, that'd be round 3 coming up, and go for it one more time. Here we go. All right, opponents kept a hand of 7 here. We are in round 3, looking at a pretty good one ourselves. This one's got Mythweaver Pock, potential ramp into Ancient Green Warden off of this Fabled Passage, but that's only if we can draw a 3rd land prior to turn 3, and assuming this Land of Elves sticks around. Let's see. Taking their time on this first play. It'll be a tapped Overgrown Tomb. We find a Scapeshift, alright. Land of Elves. We'll be working with 3 mana this turn. Another Land of Elf off the top works, another land off the top works. Or something to do on 3. It'll be Revitalized from opponent, okay. A lot of different things we could be dealing with here. We do find our 3rd land. It'll be a top land here. We'll go for Druid class. And now we got some land synergies with our landfall trigger on Druid class. Gift of Paradise, they're just ramping. Hopefully there's not a... struggling to remember the name of the card here. But the one that... Binding the Old Gods, that's the one. Hopefully that's not coming to take out my Mythweaver Pock, because next turn is the one where we do a lot of good stuff. Sample Garden. And it's Wrath of God sweeping up our board. Quite unfortunate. Let's go for an early Bristly Bill here, or possibly a Druid class, because that means we'll be able to do both of these. And we will get the Bristly Bill out. Unfortunately, this will not be very good when it comes to getting our efficient landfall triggers going. I think with Ancient Green Warden on the battlefield, Escape Shift could go pretty hard. I think we're probably just dealing with control here. Karn coming down. What will Karn get? Bolas's Citadel. Ooh, what are we playing here? A shock cram session to learn. Reduced memory, you got it. We have just enough for an Ancient Green Warden. I think that is good. We have a Fabled Passage. Beautiful. We want to make Bristly Bill pretty big, I think. Since one of these creatures is getting killed. We want to make it a pretty hard decision for them. And Bristly Bill will be required to kill Karn this turn. Get to go for another Fabled Passage. And we will go up to 30 ourselves. Alright, cool. So we're going to take out Karn. We're going to lose probably Bristly Bill or probably Green Warden next turn due to reduce to memory. It actually could be Bolas's Citadel. They might try to storm off here. If they do, they're looking at a potential death situation here with Escape Shift. I think it's probably reduced to memory. Okay, Vraska's Contempt is similar. Do they have another one? They do have reduced to memory here. Okay. We do get to make one of these. I could actually go for a Mythweaver Pock here. This gets me so much mana. I am 1 off, though. That's tough. Do I play the Pock? No, I think I need to hit big. Alright, so we make one of these into a land. Hit for 7. Do I hit for 10 or do I play the Pock? I think I hit for 10. They might go for Citadel here, and then that really hurts, but it is what it is. Yep, here we go. Night of Autumn takes out our enchantment. How far do they go past this, though? Oh, Wrath of God, alright. Revitalize, they're looking to storm off. Kaya. Yeah, Kaya is essentially neutral life. That's pretty good in a Citadel deck. This is combo control, I'm assuming.
Buddy, that's what I do.
And, okay, so we're probably just going to Besage you here. I think that's pretty obviously the play. There goes Bolus of Citadel. Let's go for Mythweaver Pock next. And then we can potentially Scapeshift into making a bunch of mana. Okay, here we go. And this is a potential 2-turn clock as well. If we draw a land here, we can potentially kill. The comma. Tap all lands. Okay. Sure. And what are we doing? Dealing 3 damage once. Can they do it again? I don't see the red. They're missing red, right? Oh, nice. They actually messed up there. Palaka Worm, okay. They've got a bunch of trample. We have a bunch of Scapeshift. Azusa Lost but Seeking. I think we just gotta go for the Scapeshift here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we go Fabled, Fabled, Fabled. Things that are not the basics. Mythweaver Pocket still is a 6/6 because of the because of how this works. And then we will go ahead and fetch while these are still around. Let's go ahead and swing in. That would actually only get 1 creature dead, and I think Kaya is annoying but is not the worst. Cards in exile are 6, which is not necessarily going to kill me yet. We should be out of range of Zakama. I think I'm fine to not attack and save a little bit of face here. We can go get an Azusa though. Okay, here's an Azusa. Mythweaver Pock is unfortunately a slow burn. We get all of our things with Scapeshift, or like it copies with Scapeshift because they all enter at the same time. But with 3 separate instances of Fabled Passage, you unfortunately don't get things as fast as you want. But over many turns, your Fabled Passage can result in a lot of lands. In terms of how many lands are left, this is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then it's actually kind of hard to tell how many of these were original lands. I think we're looking at like 9 to 15, so we have a few more lands left in the deck. Not very many, though. We'll exile some lands here, sure. And, well, one would have you believe that this is a bad attack. Looks like they want to trade for my Pock. I could just take the damage here. We look for another land and then they can't attack. Well, actually they can still attack. They produce 2 red here. Alright. And luckily they haven't been able to combo with the Bolus of Citadel. We're just kind of sitting a slow control game here. We will kill my Azusa. That's unfortunate. Ulvenwald Oddity is good. If I do this, I also have enough to flip. That's a little awkward though. I think I need to QQ all my mana, make 9, spend 7 of it on Scapeshift. We'll just sack, I think 5 is enough. Kind of don't remember how many are left. We'll choose the 6, fine. I'm not sure we're able to play exactly 6. Okay, it was close to 6. We go like this. We could have gone as much as 8. It's fine. It's an 18-18 now, which should be out of range of Zakama and Palaka together, at least with the mana that's existing right now. Ulvenwold Oddity will die, sadly. We only have enough mana to do just it. So I think I need to hold on the Ulvenwold Oddity and then go in here looking for a 2-turn kill, I think. Kaya doesn't kill me yet, or does she? 8 cards. 9 plus 7 is 16. That's 24 total, so we will die. I will need to then attack Kaya instead. Alright. I think they probably just lose Kaya here. No, they will actually take the block. Alright. And then the Lair of the Hydras are also important as well in this matchup. Alright, well, on turn pass, we take 9. We take as much as 17 right now. We'll go Fabled Passage. Let's see what they drew, if it's relevant. Alright. They will attack in. That makes sense. 14. And if we can just get the Ulvenwald Oddity out, we will have the Trample. And that means that Kaya will die. Alright, just going to be a gain of life here. Night of Autumn, not a problem. Well, kind of a problem. So they can activate Zakama twice. That means that we're looking at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's enough to kill our Mythweaver Pock. I'll go to my turn. I think we go with a Lair of the Hydra for 10. 11 will work. And let's do that, leaving 4 mana left over for our Ulvenwald Oddity, though I don't think I want to just play that out just yet. And then I think the Lair of the Hydra needs to attack Kaya. We're looking for a trade here. We're happy with 1 trade. Okay, that'll work. They will need to double block. Okay, they're actually going to let me kill Kaya here. No, they're going to make the Night of Autumn bigger. -2, -2. Okay. So that keeps Kaya alive. Oh, right, this doesn't have trample, I forgot. Alana War Elves is a thing that could exist this turn, but I don't think it needs to. Oh, I could have hidden Nursery though. They'll gain some life here. Or are they going to... Oh, they have enough to kill the Lair of the Hydra, I see. Okay. Kind of a good trade for them, not gonna lie. So what is my game plan here? I have hidden Nursery if I need it. I'm probably going to save that until they wipe the board. This Lair of the Hydra is pretty good, the second one. So we'll want to be pretty cautious about how we use this next one into their open mana. I think they're going to hold up this red producing land as much as possible. And Zakama can't attack. Kaya eventually will die. Llanowar Elves is pretty much a dead card. Alright, we're losing some lands out the graveyard. It's fine. We still have a lot of lands, though. We get to pass. They probably don't attack here. And, sure, move to our turn. Another Llanowar Elves here. I think we probably just hold up a big Lair of the Hydra, possibly, or we can hidden Nursery a bunch of times. I have to think about this one a little bit. We can show a 2-turn clock. We have a Lair of the Hydra that can block at instant speed. I think the Lair of the Hydra is best to attack, though we got to worry about their last card being something impactful. We got to make sure that this Lair of the Hydra would need to be bigger than Zakama, plus 6 damage, probably plus 8 if we want to, so we want to go to 17, which we don't quite have the amount of mana for. This would be 16 minus 1, 15. 9 plus 6 is exactly 15, so Zakama plus double Zakama activation kills our Lair of the Hydra. Let's do this first. 16, I believe, was the right one. Or, sorry, 15. Lair of the Hydra for 15. X equals 15. Auto pay. That is highlighting everything. It looks good. 15 plus 17 is just 32. So they would go to 1. And I cannot attack with everything. Okay. So we go in with Lair of the Hydra. Let's attempt to kill Kaya. See if we can get that block. Looks like they will attempt to Zakama me twice. Sure. I'm still attacking with Lair of the Hydra. Yep. Sure. This will be exactly the trade that they're looking for. They're checking to see if I really want to make this trade, which I am totally fine to do. And then we attack at Kaya. See them make this block. We are offering it to them. So they will take it. Okay. What's happening? They're just gaining some life on the end of it. Okay, sure. So I have a 16-16. Hopefully should be able to take out this Kaya soon. Now Ulvenwald Oddity is on the menu. Trample and Haste will be nice. Yep, that's fine. We go to 2. And will we survive here? Looks like we're just barely hanging on. And we will get to go to our turn here. All right. Now, if I go for a total of 11 mana, 7 plus 4, this gives me everything, so I will be able to do this. Transform. We go for 1, 2. These are essentially free. And I can turn Timber Symbiosis. I think I will just attack all in. We'll save that one for a rainy day, and now we are on the offense. We die to a Haster creature, but they have 1 card in hand. We'll see a second one here. I think we should be okay. Turn Timber Symbiosis better as a spell right now. Alright, and let's see if we can win off the back of this. 26 life on opponent. We have 17 plus 8 is 25, 27, 29. They'll need to gain life to get out of range or produce a hasty blocker that kills me. Can they do it? This is the big question. And looks like we'll actually take this one. What a long game we ended up playing with this deck here. Kaya brought us to the edge of death, but we were able to survive. Pretty cool deck here. Leveraging Zakama of all things. In addition to Bolas's Citadel, looking kind of like a combo deck. There's a lot of cards in here that are, if not life neutral off of a Bolas's Citadel, then very close to it. Palaka Worm. Kaya herself is kind of only one life negative. Zakama essentially gives you more mana, which is kind of worth it. And actually, yeah, with 9 mana, 3 of it being white, Zakama can really just kind of be mana neutral as well. This is actually a very, very cool Bolas's Citadel deck. I'll have to look into it a bit more. I guess the Wraths are the only ones that are not super life neutral, but there are a lot of things that are life positive, like Night of Autumn. Very, very cool deck here. Was a fun one to play against, and lucky that we got the win here, so feeling pretty proud about that. Let's hop into round 4 though and go for another good game. Alright, round 4, let's go. Tireless Provisioner is a card that we were kind of needing in the last few games but didn't quite find. If they keep 7, I think I'll keep the 7. Otherwise, I could be tempted to go for 6. We'll let them be the judgment decider here. They keep 7, so I will as well. Let's go for it. Opt off the rip with a Hall of Storm Giants. Alright. We'll put a land in. Druid class turn 2, Tireless Provisioner on turn 3. Possibly this Land War Elves changes things. I do want to ramp out a little bit. We'll see if it gets Fatal Push. It does. It'll be Cut Down instead, actually. Cut Down does kill my Tireless Provisioner. We can go like this. See if that survives. We really want to draw a land here. They go one ring. Alright. This is historic, so not as great. This is perfect. We get a Tireless Provisioner here. Go shock this in. This will give me 3 mana. Make a treasure, make a treasure. Play a Druid class. Play a Llanowar Elves. And we are set up next turn, just about to play an Ancient Green Warden. Swing in for 3. Except we don't get any damage in. Alright, opponent draws. They will draw with the One Ring. Alright, this will tax their mana. Thank you, Historic. And it's Unlicensed Hearst. Going to hit my graveyard here. It's going to be unfortunate for Ancient Green Warden. We'll have to be a little quick on that. We do get mana advantage here by going like this. Let's make some treasures. And then I think I just go Green Warden here. Now we get to hit for 6. And then if we can find something else to do, the Scape Shift, or if we can find any other land called Escape Shift, becomes really good. Let's see what this next draw is. Children of the Apocalypse, alright. Fabled Passage is strong. Big triggers. We will make some treasures. And I think I will make at least 1 food here. We'll play an additional land on each one of our turns. Now, I'm not totally sure how this works, so I will hold full control here. We're going to Fabled Passage. See if they let us resolve this before activating Unlicensed Hearst. Alright, they're waiting. That's good. We do this. These triggers enter. Let's see, we want to resolve all of these. Make some foods. And then they let me pass through, so I can play this Fabled Passage out now. And then we will hold it in play to play around Unlicensed Hearst. And some more life here to pad against Shieldred. I think we will go like this. Unfortunately, it's just the Fabled Passage that's a bit awkward. Let's see if they want to trade Shieldred for it. We can always get another. Looker 2 here, probably blocking with the Hearse. Yeah, it looks like it'll just be a chump block. That's fine. Cool. They stand to gain a lot of life with the One Ring, so we want to make sure that Shieldred dies eventually. I could Shapeshift now, or sorry, Scape Shift now. That's not quite the answer at this moment, I think. You pass. Yeah, it's really unfortunate the Fabled Passage of all things had to be the one. If we find any of our other cards like Pock, this hand can go very, very good for us. Ulvenwald Oddity is also pretty big here. Unfortunately, we're missing a little bit of card draw right now, so we'll lose the Fabled Passage. That can be replayed. The Tireless Provisioners are sad to lose, though. Alright, we'll get rid of that. I think I will activate a food here. A shock. Going to 17. What is this for? Thoughtseize, possibly? No. Alright, I think I don't activate the foods currently. We've got to see what this draw is. Alright, take our draw. Bristly Bill, that'll be the 1. Bristly Bill. We go for Fabled Passage. Trigger. With total power toughness 5 or less, let's make him big with Fabled Passage. trigger. Now he'll be too large for that. Perfect, that fizzles. And now we get big, so we go Fabled Passage again. Let's just make this Ancient Green Warden really big. And then we could Scape Shift. We could also just double the counters, but I think we just make them lose their Shieldred here. If they don't do anything about it, we can not quite kill. Yeah, I think if I Scape Shift, getting rid of a bunch of lands, we can kill. I will Fabled Passage first. Putting both counters on Ancient Green Warden, and then I gotta just basically get to a situation where if I double enough times, I kill. 4 double twice definitely kills. Okay, cool. So we move to combat, we attack with the Green Warden, wait for blockers to be declared. If they let me through, I kill. Has to be a block. Alright, cool. And then we just double. Resolve. Double. Now we're really big. And for good measure, let's just do it one more time. Sweet. 32 counters. Opponent is dead. Should have blocked with a Shieldred, but then they would have died to Bristly Bill. So, cool. We're going to take round 4 here in a pretty convincing fashion. Let's move to round 5 and finish out with one more strong round. Final round, here we go. This is a 4-lander with Bristly Bill. Eventually we get to Escape Shift and Green Warden, but this one's not super convincing based on what we've seen prior. I'm going to keep it because so far we haven't been led astray. Tiny Bone showing up on the opponent's side. Hopefully there's not too much discard coming down my throat here. Mythweaver Pock on board. Let's put in a tapped Turn Timber, or, well, I guess the correct play is technically Kazandu Valley. That is the better of the two to be played right now. Plains with Bishop of Wings. This is Angels, alright. Let's go Turn Timber Symbiosis tapped. We go Azusa. Next turn, ramp out. Hopefully draw a land. I guess I could have shot... Oh, I should have shocked that for Bristly Bill. Ooh, man. I think I might just play this one slow then. Yeah, Tireless Provisioner then. Well, this is a little awkward. I can go... Yeah, actually Bill's not very important right now. We go Tireless Provisioner here. We need to make some mana. Right. Another land could work with Azusa. Hopefully we don't lose the Provisioner. Heliod. How interesting. Okay. That doesn't hurt so badly yet. We're getting another turn here. We probably just go Bristly Bill here. Make an awkward block for them with this Garen Brig. Boom. Make a treasure. And then I guess we just go for an Azusa here. She doesn't really do much until Green Warden comes down, but we do at least get an attack here. Let's try to force them to stay out of Valkyrie range for one more turn. Escape Shift does get me close. I think I might need to Tireless Provisioner here. 24 now. Things get dangerous for me in the next few turns. I need to make sure that I can get a Green Warden out. That's probably my most important thing to make working. So I think if I go Escape Shift this next turn, the following turn I play a Green Warden off of my treasures. Probably not blocking on the ground here. We'll take 9. And they are actually big enough. Okay, so I think this might not work. Yeah, they are just too wide here. Angels are very, very fast. Alright, cool. So even with this Fabled Passage, do things work here? I can go Mythweaver Pock or Scape Shift. If I go Scape Shift, that makes me 4 mana. I think if I go Mythweaver Pock, I might be able to Escape Shift here. No, but this triggers only once, so that'll only be off the first Fabled Passage. That gives me 2 mana. That's only enough for a Bristly Bill. I have 2 lands to play. So if I can just guarantee I get a green warden out, is this possible? So I go Fabled Passage, make a treasure. Oh, well, I guess I can target this guy to make him big. Make a treasure. Search for another one. Another one of these, make another treasure. Make the Tireless Provisioner really big. It doesn't matter because Healy's indestructible though. So now I have 7 mana. With Scapeshift, I float my mana. And I play a Scapeshift, sacking all these lands. And then we find a bunch of Fabled Passages, which actually do require me to pass the turn, so that's a bit awkward. And then, unfortunately, the Mythweaver Pot can't be on the battlefield for this. We make a bunch of tokens. We're just going to make one big creature here. Doesn't matter because most of our stuff's on the ground. We make treasures, and where does this put me at? 8 mana. Yeah, that's not quite enough. We go Green Warden here. That does give us Fabled Passage again. Let's make the Provisioner big. Okay, Fabled Passage again. Alright, and I think this is the maximum amount of mana that we'll have. And we're pretty much just setting up a potential doubling kill here with Bristly Bill. I have one more to work with here. I think I go Fabled Passage, right? Yeah, I think I go Mythweaver Pock. Out of hay. We go Fabled Passage here. Tireless Provisioner gets big. Mana. Triggers. We're just making this dude huge. I could make some food tokens. I think unfortunately that's not going to work in this situation. Well, we go ahead and attempt an attack. They lose if they don't make a block, potentially. Seems like a very easy Heliod block, though. Yeah, they know what's up. And can I do much more than this? Not really, sadly. Yeah, we can just Fabled Passage a little bit more, which I suppose I'll do. And we'll just see how close we get. So counter. Then I gotta see if it's possible for me to make more tokens. Resolve, token, trigger. Let's just activate this again. And we do start to run low on our basic lands. That's just something to note. More food. And this gives me 4 foods. I have 8 mana. Alright, cool. So I can gain 4 times 3, 12 life, plus my 8 is 20. We actually don't die this turn. No, we exactly die. We're so close. Alright, fine. If we had not made the Tireless Provisioner so big, we might have been able to stay alive here. Oh well. Okay, so they just hit me for 20 in the air, and I think we die. Okay, Banishing Light would have not really made it that much of a problem here. The Ancient Green Warden will die here, and that is the last thing keeping us from being able to stabilize. So close. And 14 plus 6 is exactly 20. Oh wait, this is 16 life. Oh wait, no, I'm good. This does give me another draw, but it's pretty unlikely to find something that we need. Auto pay. And auto pay. All right, there we go. And that is exactly 20. I don't know why I thought this wasn't 12 damage, or why this wasn't 16. Yeah, wait, no, I did my math right the first time. 3 times 4 is 12, not 16. It's a little late. We are getting to the end of the rope here, and looks like that will be how we end on this series. Just a little bit of math that didn't quite go our way. You know, obviously I could have, in retrospect, made a couple different decisions with the Tireless Provisioner, but I wanted to kind of aim towards getting a potential kill if our opponent decided for some reason to not block with Heliod. Unfortunately, we didn't get as lucky as we did in round 4, and opponent knew what to do. So that will be the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think if I have some final thoughts for this deck in its current state, could use a little bit more card draw, because there are situations where we do get a lot of mana, but it is hard to kind of finish things out. Now, whether that would be an Elder Gargaroth or something like Harmonize, I'll kind of leave as an exercise up to the interested viewer. The video description will have the deck list in it if you want to take it from there and run with it. But other than that, this is what I've got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, like and comment helps with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I think that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck. It was a lot of fun to play, and I hope it was just as much fun to watch. I'll see you in the next one.